Good morning, everyone. All Americans, and particularly Jewish Americans, this morning are grieving the tragic loss of 11 innocent lives in a shul in Pittsburgh. Imagine the tragic irony of a temple called Tree of Life, where congregants got together to celebrate the birth of a new life, a child, a naming of a baby, and the room is filled with love for the families, for the baby, filled with faith in God, filled with joy, and in walks a deranged, evil, anti-Semitic madman, and in the middle of this beautiful, joyous Shabbat celebration, murders 11 innocent people. And it's events like this that remind us how fragile our society is, and how much we have to stand together in unity as a community, as a society, to fight against the evils that surround us. As Jews, we know that the best response to evil and darkness is goodness and light. The way we combat hatred is by increasing in love. The way we combat anti-Semitism is by increasing in Jewish unity and love for all of mankind. And so today, as Jews, we reflect and we must act and do something in memory of these 11 innocent victims, these pure, beautiful lives that were cut down so tragically. And we have to galvanize as a community and ask ourselves, what can be done to make sure that something like this never happens again? Right after Shabbat, I turned on my phone and I was touched because I got emails not only from Jews but from non-Jews in the community who poured out their love and support for the Jewish community and showed their solidarity. And it was very comforting to read these beautiful emails. It reminded me of a story in World War II. There was a major sergeant, his name was Rabbi Edmund. And during the Battle of the Bulge in 1944, he, together with many American POWs, were captured by the Germans. And the commandant ordered him, he said, tomorrow morning I'm coming to the US barracks and I want you to bring out all the Jewish POWs. Obviously they would all be murdered. And that night, this Major General Rabbi Edmund, who was the highest ranking officer in the US Army at the time, said to the 1,300 American POWs, tomorrow morning when the commandant comes, we're all falling out. We're all stepping forward. And the next morning when the commandant came to round up the 200 or so Jews, he saw 1,300 American soldiers standing there. And he said to Major Sergeant Rabbi Edmund, they can't all be Jews. And Major Sergeant Rabbi Edmund looked at this commandant and said, today we are all Jews. And he walked over, pulled out his pistol and pressed it against the temple of Major Sergeant Rabbi Edmund. And he said, if you don't hand over the Jews, I will kill you. And without blinking, Rabbi Edmund looked at the commandant and said, under the Geneva Convention laws, we only have to state our name, our rank, and our serial number. If you want to kill me, you'll have to kill all of us, because we will not turn over the Jews. But after the war is over, after we Americans win this war, you will stand trial and you will pay the price for the murder of these 1,300 American soldiers. The commandant slowly put down his pistol and walked away. That day, every one of those 13 Americans were heroes. They all risked their lives to protect their fellow Jews. Today we come together not just as Americans, but as human beings, and surely as Jews. And I got even a call this morning from the mayor of Palm Beach, Mayor Gail Caniglio, showing her support and her solidarity. And so tonight at 7 p.m., right here in our shul, we will have a solidarity gathering, prayers for Pittsburgh, with community leaders. We will also have a psychologist who will talk to us how to cope and grieve and how to talk to our children and grandchildren about this. And so I'm encouraging everyone, not only those who are here this morning, but everyone who's watching on Facebook. Please share this and attend tonight and let us come together as a community, because the only way we could comfort each other is when we come together as a united Jewish community, not just nationally but internationally, show love and support for one another. And as we stand up, not just as Jews, but Jews and non-Jews, to come tonight together as one community and stand together and say, today we are all Jews, and we will not allow any bigotry, hatred, anti-Semitism, racism, or evil to be perpetrated in our community, whether against Jew or non-Jew. I look forward to seeing everyone tonight with community leaders here in our synagogue at 7 p.m. May God bless us all, and as the final prayer of the Kaddish concludes, Oseh Shalom B'Mramav, V'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael. May Almighty God, who makes peace on high, make peace amongst us and amongst all of Israel, and let us respond. Amen.